no matter where you're from.
Hello gamers, this is Mr. Starthons, and before I announce anything else, you notice that I'm not wearing my jacket like my other videos because it is finally summer. Yes, I can get outside, the sun, look at girls, get drunk, whatever I can do over the summer. Till then, that jacket goes back in the closet or I wash it, whatever happens first, because, you know, I like to stay clean and fresh when I'm doing my videos. I've been thinking about, why not the good points of consoles, but with the almost the bumpy road. You know, every good console, I don't care with the NES to current gen now, they always that bump in the road. Something always slows it down to a point that even, you know, the lifespan for a console should be more than you think it is. They always jump to the next console. So I figure, why not I do this little video, just get my head out, clear my head out for a second, because, you know, I want to see what the bumpy road, that little small bumpy road that caused a great console being great to being also not great. You know, we always have that fine line of, you know, you'll be delayed, there'll be something wrong with the hardware, there'll be something wrong with something else. We've been down that road. We've seen it so many times, so I figure, why not do this video? So let's begin with my current runner-up, Microsoft and Xbox. We all remember that fine moment when you got your first Xbox, when you heard an announcement of when Microsoft's coming out, and you saw that big human of a console, and you was like, wow, all that raw power. I mean, it was good. I mean, it was great. We seen launch titles on that sucker on and on. We saw how it was the most well balanced machine, and I'm not saying PS2 was well balanced, but Xbox was just, you couldn't go anywhere. I mean, anywhere, not anyone talk about the Xbox. And it was great. It was one of the, like, you know, decent machines you ever get your hands on. I mean, what can go wrong? Yes, a lot of things can go wrong. When we had our hands now, when Microsoft came out with a 360, things went a little bit bumpy. Yes, we seen what could happen. My little thing when I saw that thing is they was trying to go against, I think it was against the PS3 at that time, because PS3 just came out and everyone wanted it, and now you have Xbox coming out, and I always told myself Microsoft rushed this out way too fast. I mean, we seen that little glitches. I mean, glitches. It was problems. I mean, problems from step one. We had problems with the overheating. Yes, that was lovely. The overheating was the main concern that everyone concerned about, because when they didn't tell you anything how this console was going to work. I mean, they just slap it on, put it out just to get the word out. But we seen the overheating and the red ring of death. Yes, the red ring that will be in the infinite till the dawn of time, to end of time. That was the cause of it. I mean, here you are buying a new console, and then you have problems with your console. The red ring was that console. I mean, you couldn't, you know, do anything about it. I mean, even when you have, like, I would say, like, disc, you know, even the disc didn't have a buffer. So if you turn it upside down or any direction, you hear that grinding sound. That means your disc didn't have no buffer to hold it in. So if you return into GameStop or any other store and you want to get a new game, they would look at the disc and say that you've been playing this all day. Why? Because the disc looked like been chewed up. Yeah, that was lots of problems. I mean, once you see on YouTube, we've seen this lots of times, when you take a towel and wrap around a system, you know something went terribly wrong, really wrong. And I always look at it like, everybody I knew who had an Xbox went back to playing PS2 or something, because it was just a mess. I mean, even a mess. Even we seen, they told you don't take apart your Xbox. Why? I feel like Xbox should owe me money, because I spent a lot of money on this, knowing the fact that it turns. Before I even mentioned, I didn't own an Xbox. I know a lot of people who own an Xbox, but I see in the result of the Xbox, you know, Xbox 360, and how, you know, it just went completely off the rail. I mean, it was just put in wrong, the overheating, the cost. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that one hiccup caused Microsoft a lot of money, a lot of money just to repairs alone. I mean, I just seen people, you know, trying to say you can fix it, but why didn't you fix something that, you know, I paid lots of money for it? And that's kind of weird to see what's going to be for the next gen. I mean, yeah, sure, it's going to be the same problem. I know they're going to fix the problem, but there could be a certain problem like that I have to worry about. Like, wow, really, seriously, here we go again. But we still got 2 consoles to talk about, so let's talk about the next one that's coming on my list, Sony. Yes, I know. Sony, I don't know. Sony is one of them kind of hit and misses, because I would say that the PS1 was probably the shocker of my that time when I first saw that console. I would say, wow, look at the power, look at the raw power this thing is. I mean, even from them standards alone, back on the days, I saw it and I said, wow, you couldn't get me off the machine if you told me the place was on fire. And it was great up to even PS2. PS2 library was, like, to me, was the core of the PS2. I mean, once you have your PS1 and your PS2, you can play on your PS2. I mean, from classic PS1 to PS2 on your PS2. I mean, it was great. I had no problem with that. But the only problem I had with the PS3, and a lot of developers talk about, is a lot of tension, a lot of power in the PS3, but developers didn't know what to do with it. I mean, yeah, we hear it time and time again. Yeah, because, you know, a lot of developers talk about how they didn't know what to do with it. That's why they are making a PS4, because all the mistakes they did it with the PS3. I mean, we keep hearing that raw power that inside the PS3. Even the lifespan that you said that, okay, the lifespan for any console would probably be, what, 5 years or maybe more. You know, you want to squeeze what kind of raw power. I keep saying that, raw power. That's the kind of power that, you know, is deep inside a system like that, and you don't want to take it out. I think with Mario Bros. 3, that pushed the limit. Even for a box, every time you look at a Nintendo box, you think, wow, they really pushed out a lot of power out of that sucker to just make Mario 3 look glorious. I would say to this day that Mario 3 was still probably the best last gen console I ever seen in my life. Hell, even the last gen console for PS2 was probably, to me, was God of War 2. And I seen how the gameplay was. I mean, this is when we heard announcements for the PS3 which is coming out, and they was talking about, you know, we can push a lot of power out of the PS2 as possible, and they did it, and I was kind of impressed. But looking at the PS3, they had nothing. I mean, we seen what they can do with it. I mean, it's not like they just look at it like the developers looked at it like, well, we can just we can do something like that. We're not sure, and that always bugs me. Like, you know, even for Sony to come out saying that we messed up, we didn't know what we was doing, and now look down at how PS4 is gonna be. I'm thinking, no. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we still have current gen games that are coming out for the PS3 before the PS4 comes out. Remember what happened with the hacking? Yeah, even the hacking was kind of like no, it's software, but wow, that's really, like, even Japan. System wasn't up to, they had to fix every single problem with their online, so they wouldn't let anyone open. They open their gates and say, hey, you know, come back in again. So yeah, a lot of hiccups in PS3. Yeah, but we don't know what's gonna happen with PS4, so that's still a long distance away. So let's see what happens. So let's leap off with, I like to say, with the Wii. Yes, the Wii, not the Wii U, but just the Wii. Yeah, this came out. It's weird. It came out after PS3. I just remember that. And then what makes this a little bit more of a smart debate, because hardware, it had good potential, but no online. Even Microsoft and Sony had online, and here is this white box had no online. I mean, sure, people wanted to complain about, oh, I'm good with no online, but you're trying to sell online games. You're trying to sell that. I mentioned that. Hell, even a small box like the Wii can do online. Let me give you an example. Let me show you an example. Right? Look at this game. Tekken vs. Capcom. Tekken vs. Capcom is a decent fighting game. Only problem is, right on the corner, right here, it says Wi-Fi only. I say, okay, Wi-Fi. So where am I going to be people fighting online? We all know that story with the infamous friend pass. You have to have the friend pass. You have to wait till they go online. The service is shot to hell. And I'm always wondering why they couldn't just fix it up. I mean, I know they fixed it up with the Wii U, but here you have a chance to really show. I mean, even to this day, I still have my Wii, and I'm looking at it like, wow. I mean, how much you can do? I mean, yeah, I'm not complaining about the online or anything. I'm thinking old school Nintendo. I'm old school when I think about stuff like that. But every time I look at that white box, I'm thinking, okay, if you're gonna be that competition against the other two, you have to have online. And every time I look at it, I always see friend pass like sticking out, like I have that little like neon arrows pointing out. Must be online, must be online. But it's not online, and I think I threw it up. And plus, they throw a lot of I know the Wii was banking on motion control, and that's good. When they came out, they say, hey, you know what, we did something better than even Sony and Microsoft did, hardware-wise, motion control. That means that you feel like you're a part of the game, not outside the game, and that was good. Only problem is once you start doing that, you start having a lot of gimmicks. You know, I like to call it gimmicks. You know, like you want a Wii tennis, yeah, just hook a Wii tennis to your Wii. You want a Wii golf, yeah, hook that Wii golf on. You want a Wii fishing, yeah, Wii fishing, yeah, we can just have Wii fishing. You want a Wii archery, yes, Wii archery. You know, that's the only problem here. If you just can focus on the controller and the motion plus, that'd be great. I mean, I don't mind doing this, doing that, as long as I don't feel like I'm adding stuff to it and I'm not going to use it. I mean, it could be collecting dust in my closet somewhere. I just want to make it more like you guys did it well with the motion sensor. That's great. I have no problem with that. But when you start adding hardware stuff that I'm not going to use, this, and that, I feel like, wow, you guys really had a good moment, and then you drop it on the ball. So it was good. I mean, I had no problem with that to this day. Sometimes I find myself playing Wii Sports by accident, biking, busting sweat, because it was good. But when you start adding too much stuff to it, like Wii fishing, Wii archery, I get like thrown out. Like, wow, I need to run out and buy it because it's not gonna work because of that. That's my little pet peeve right there. I mean, it works. Don't add anything else to it. So I don't know. It's just looking at these new consoles, looking at how like with Microsoft all the way from Sony to the Wii, I'm getting nervous how the future is gonna be, because if you didn't know about the online pass for the Microsoft or Sony's, I mean, we don't know much about Sony's blue plans about what's they have for the PS4 or the Wii U. I know the Wii U is still running, but you know, are they gonna change something different just to compete with the other two big boys? I don't know. I get nervous when I see something like that. You take something simple and you somehow bang it up. I mean, even I always talk about, oh, we're going to see a new console. Every time we see a new console, we get all hyped up. We know it's going to be that little bump in the road, that only small little bump that's going to cause the console to do something different. I mean, it could be overheating, or it could be like they had a software for the hardware but didn't work as it's supposed to be, or something else. We've seen it so many times, and we need to like waking up, like waking up. Sometimes we see a new console, we don't just drool over, oh god, gotta get it. No, we have been wondering it's gonna work and how long it's gonna stay on working. That's my concern right there. How long it's gonna still working. So I don't know. I worry about that. I worry about that moment, because back in the days you don't have to worry about stuff like that. I went so far to go and say that when you had the NES, what you did with the NES, you got a cartridge, you put it in there, case closed. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think about it. I'll get back at you when I see it. So, this is Mr. Sultan telling you that the future's here. I'm not sure I'm not ready for it. Later.